Most people lose long before they ever begin. Not because they lack talent, but because their mindset is weak. The way you think determines how you act, how you respond to pressure, and how far you are willing to go when things become difficult. A winning mindset is not something you are born with. It is something you build through discipline, self-control, and daily mental training. Your mind can either push you forward or hold you back. Every doubt you allow, every excuse you accept, and every moment you choose comfort over growth weakens your progress. But when you train your mind to stay focused, resilient, and committed, you begin to operate differently. You stop reacting to difficulty and start rising above it. In this video, you will learn how to build a winning mindset and take control of your mental strength. Rule 1: Take control of your thoughts. Everything begins in your mind. Long before results appear in your life, they exist in your thinking. The way you think determines how you see yourself, how you respond to difficulty, and how far you are willing to go. If your thoughts are filled with hesitation and doubt, your actions will reflect hesitation and doubt. But when your thoughts are focused on discipline and growth, your actions begin to align with strength. A winning mindset starts when you stop allowing random thoughts to control your direction and start choosing thoughts that support your progress. Your mind is naturally drawn toward safety and comfort. It will try to protect you from effort, from pressure, and from uncertainty. It will suggest slowing down, delaying action, or avoiding challenges completely. This is not because you are weak, but because your mind follows habits. If you never challenge these mental patterns, they become permanent. Taking control means becoming aware of these thoughts without obeying them. It means reminding yourself that growth requires effort and that your future depends on your mental discipline. Training your thoughts requires consistency. You must learn to redirect your focus when your mind begins to weaken your confidence. Instead of feeding doubt, you strengthen belief in your ability to improve. Instead of focusing on difficulty, you focus on progress. This mental redirection builds inner stability. It teaches your brain that you are in control, not your fears, not your emotions, and not your temporary discomfort. Over time, this control transforms your identity. You begin to trust yourself because you know your mind is disciplined. Your reactions become calmer, your focus becomes sharper, and your confidence becomes stronger. You stop being controlled by temporary emotions and start being guided by purpose. This is where a winning mindset is built, through daily control of your own thoughts. Rule 2: Accept full responsibility. A winning mindset begins the moment you stop placing the weight of your life on anything outside of yourself. As long as you believe your progress depends on circumstances, timing, or other people, you give away your power. But when you accept full responsibility, your perspective changes. You realize that your actions, your discipline, and your daily decisions are the real forces shaping your future. This realization is uncomfortable at first, but it is also freeing, because it means your growth is no longer limited by external conditions. Accepting responsibility means removing excuses from your thinking. Excuses create temporary comfort, but they slowly weaken your mindset. They teach your brain to avoid effort and delay progress. A winning mindset refuses this pattern. Instead of asking why something is difficult, you begin asking how you can become stronger. This shift moves your focus away from problems and towards self-development. You begin to see every challenge as something you can respond to, not something that controls you. Responsibility also strengthens your self-respect. Every time you hold yourself accountable, you build trust within yourself. You stop relying on pressure from others and start relying on your own standards. This creates internal discipline. You begin to act because you expect more from yourself, not because someone else is forcing you. This independence is essential for building a strong and stable mindset. Over time, accepting responsibility changes how you see your life completely. You stop waiting for the right moment, and you start creating progress with what you have. You become more focused, more disciplined, and more mentally resilient. This is when your mindset begins to shift from passive to powerful, and this shift is a core step in building a winning mindset. Rule 3: Strengthen your self-discipline. Self-discipline is the backbone of a winning mindset because it gives you control over your actions. Motivation is unreliable. Some days you feel driven, and other days you feel nothing. If you depend only on motivation, your progress will always stop and start. Discipline removes that instability. It teaches you to act because you decided to act, not because you feel ready. This creates consistency, and consistency is what builds real mental strength. Discipline is built when you learn to follow through on your decisions. Your mind will often suggest stopping, delaying, or choosing comfort. This is where discipline becomes important. When you continue despite resistance, you train your brain to obey your standards instead of your emotions. Each moment of discipline strengthens your mental control and makes the next action easier. You begin to realize that you are capable of directing yourself, even during difficult moments. Every time you practice discipline, you build trust within yourself. You stop breaking promises to yourself, and this strengthens your confidence. You no longer question whether you will continue, because you know you will. This creates internal stability. Your mindset becomes less emotional and more focused. Instead of reacting to how you feel, you act based on who you are becoming. Over time, discipline becomes automatic. It becomes part of your identity, not something you force temporarily. You begin to see yourself as someone who follows through, someone who stays committed, and someone who does not stop when things feel uncomfortable. This identity strengthens your confidence and reinforces your winning mindset, because you know you can rely on yourself no matter the situation. Rule 4: Embrace mental pressure. Mental pressure is one of the most important forces in building a winning mindset. Pressure reveals the truth about your mindset. It shows whether you remain calm and focused or whether you retreat into hesitation. Many people spend their lives trying to avoid pressure because it feels uncomfortable. But avoiding pressure keeps your mind weak and unprepared. A strong mindset is built when you face pressure and remain in control of yourself. Pressure forces your mind to sharpen. It demands your full attention and removes distractions. In these moments, you learn how to stay focused instead of overwhelmed. You begin to understand that pressure is not there to break you, but to train you. Each time you face it without stepping back, you increase your mental endurance. You teach your brain that discomfort is temporary and manageable. When you accept mental pressure, you also build emotional control. Instead of reacting with fear or hesitation, you learn to stay steady. This stability strengthens your confidence because you know you can handle intense moments. You stop fearing difficulty and start trusting your ability to respond to it. This trust becomes a powerful part of your mindset. Over time, pressure becomes familiar. It no longer feels like something that stops you. It becomes something that activates your focus and discipline. You begin to operate with more clarity and control, even in difficult situations. This is when your mindset begins to separate from the average. Embracing mental pressure is what transforms your thinking and builds a true winning mindset. Rule 5: Focus on long-term growth. A winning mindset is built on long-term thinking. It understands that real mental strength, real confidence, and real discipline are not created in a single moment. They are built slowly, through repeated effort and continuous self-development. When your focus is only on immediate results, you become easily discouraged. But when your focus is on long-term growth, you remain steady because you understand that every effort is an investment in the person you are becoming. Long-term focus changes how you see your daily actions. You stop looking for instant validation, and you start valuing consistency. You understand that small improvements, repeated over time, create powerful transformation. This mindset builds patience. It allows you to continue working on yourself without constantly questioning your progress. You begin to trust that growth is happening, even when it is not immediately visible. This way of thinking also strengthens your emotional control. Temporary setbacks no longer define your confidence because you know they are only small moments in a much longer journey. Instead of reacting with frustration, you remain focused on continuing forward. This stability protects your mindset from discouragement and helps you maintain your discipline. Focusing on long-term growth also builds deep self-belief. You begin to see yourself as someone who is committed, someone who does not quit, and someone who is constantly improving. This identity strengthens your mental resilience and removes the need for constant external motivation. You rely on your commitment instead of your emotions. Over time, long-term focus transforms how you think and how you live. You stop chasing temporary satisfaction and start building permanent strength. Your patience increases, your discipline becomes stronger, and your mindset becomes more stable. This is a critical step in building a winning mindset, because it ensures that your growth never stops. Rule 6: Act despite doubt. Doubt will appear at every stage of your growth. It is a natural reaction when you move towards something greater than your current level. Your mind is designed to protect you from uncertainty, and because of that, it will question your ability, your readiness, and your direction. These thoughts can feel real and convincing, but they are not commands. They are only mental resistance. A winning mindset understands that doubt is not a reason to stop. It is a sign that you are stepping outside of your comfort zone and entering a new level of development. Many people wait until they feel completely confident before they act. This is why they remain stuck. Confidence does not come first. Action comes first. When you act despite doubt, you send a powerful message to your brain that hesitation does not control you. You prove to yourself that your decisions are stronger than your fears. Each time you move forward while feeling uncertain, you weaken the mental habit of hesitation and strengthen the habit of action. Doubt grows stronger when it is fed by inaction. The longer you wait, the more your mind creates reasons to stay still. It begins to create fear, hesitation, and mental resistance. But action interrupts this cycle. The moment you act, your focus shifts from thinking to doing. This shift reduces fear and builds momentum. You begin to realize that doubt was never as powerful as it felt. It only had power when you remained still. Acting despite doubt also builds deep inner trust. You begin to see yourself as someone who does not depend on perfect feelings. You depend on your commitment instead. This creates emotional stability because you are no longer controlled by temporary mental states. You understand that doubt can exist without stopping your progress. This realization strengthens your independence and your mental resilience. Over time, doubt loses its authority over you. It may still appear, but it no longer decides your actions. Your discipline becomes stronger than your hesitation. Your focus becomes stronger than your fear. You become someone who moves forward regardless of internal resistance. This is one of the most powerful steps in building a true winning mindset. Rule 7: Protect your mental focus. Your focus determines the direction of your life. Whatever you give your attention to grows stronger in your mind. If your attention is constantly divided, your progress becomes slow and unstable. A winning mindset requires clear and controlled focus. You must learn to protect your attention because your attention is directly connected to your growth. Every moment of focus is an investment in strengthening your mind. Distractions weaken your mental discipline. When your attention moves constantly from one thing to another, your brain becomes trained to avoid depth and consistency. This makes it harder to stay committed and harder to build momentum. Protecting your mental focus means deciding what truly deserves your energy and refusing to let everything else interrupt your progress. This builds mental control and strengthens your ability to stay consistent. When your focus is clear, your actions become more powerful and intentional. You stop acting randomly, and you start acting with purpose. Your mind becomes calmer because it is no longer overloaded. This clarity allows you to think better, make stronger decisions, and remain steady even under pressure. Focus strengthens discipline because it teaches your brain to remain present instead of escaping into distraction. Protecting your focus also strengthens your identity. You begin to see yourself as someone who is serious about growth. You no longer allow temporary impulses to control your direction. This builds self-respect and reinforces your commitment to building a stronger mindset. Each moment you protect your attention, you reinforce the habit of mental discipline. Over time, strong focus creates lasting confidence. You trust yourself because you know you can direct your mind where it needs to go. Your progress becomes more consistent, your discipline becomes more natural, and your mindset becomes more resilient. Protecting your mental focus is essential, because without focus, a winning mindset cannot exist. A winning mindset is not something you are born with. It is something you build through daily discipline, mental control, and the decision to keep moving forward no matter how you feel. Every time you control your thoughts, act despite doubt, and stay focused on your growth, you strengthen your mind. Over time, this strength becomes part of who you are. You stop thinking like everyone else, and you start operating with clarity, confidence, and purpose. Your mindset will always determine your direction. If you train it, it will push you forward. If you ignore it, it will hold you back. The choice is yours, and the work begins with you. Build your discipline. Protect your focus. Commit to becoming mentally stronger every single day. And if this video helped you, subscribe and continue building your winning mindset.